Hello, students. Welcome to my third presentation on the topic that is the globalization of business and people in the 21st century, part 2. It means challenges of the globalization in 21st century. This topic is of the subject that is cross-cultural management, MBA, part 2, semester 3, uh, paper number 3, elective 5, international business. And this MBA part 2, this course, online MBA, is offered by Center for Distance and Online Education, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. I am your teacher, Dr. Sunil Goswami, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Economics at Srimati K. G. Mittal College of Arts and Commerce, Malad West, Mumbai. Dear students, uh, already we have discussed a lot of a lot about the globalization, and globalization, it is nothing but this is the process where we interlinkage our domestic economy with the global economy. So this process removes the barriers in the way of free flowing of goods and commodities and capital from one market to another market, as well as labor also. So globalization, it is complex and evolving process driven by technological advancement, trade liberalization, increased global connectivity. It has reshaped business, economics, cultures, and societies, as well as while it promotes interdependence and shared responsibility, it also creates serious challenges to the economies. Now let's discuss the various challenges of globalization in 21st centuries. So the first challenge is dual nature of globalization. Yes, students, I agree with this. On the first hand, it leads various advantages of globalization in form of increased global trade and investment, technological innovation and progress, cultural exchange, and economic growth. So these are the gains, these are the benefits of globalization. But on the other hand, there it leads some serious issues, some serious concerns like as unequal benefits of globalization. It means whatever the economic development in form of economic growth, which is not enjoying equally by all member countries. The healthy countries, stronger countries, advanced countries, they are enjoying more economic benefits, and at the same time, so developing and underdeveloped countries, they are depriving such benefit in form of the economic development due to economic growth, as well as in case of social and political instability. So these backward countries, they are backward countries, developing countries, they are facing the concern, serious challenge, that is in case in the field of social and political, they are facing such a type of instability, uncertainty, as well as they are getting they are facing the environmental problems, environmental degradation, environmental depletion, climate change, global warming. So if even though their contribution in the global product is very less, minimum, but they are facing the same environmental problem as equal to the advanced countries. And the another one, cultural homogenization. It means that culture of particular countries, Western countries, which is becoming more dominant, and it is spreading in the world, like as Western culture, US culture, England's culture, or Western countries' culture, European country culture. Due to globalization, it is spreading out in a very fast speed, rapid speed. But at the same time, so that cultural uniqueness of some countries or tribal culture, social culture of some countries, which is limited, which does not spread out in the world. So these are some concerns with benefits which we can find here, and therefore it is dual nature of globalization. The second challenge is unequal distribution of economic growth. Yes, students, already I have mentioned that economic gains from the globalization which are not equally distributed. So benefits mainly accrue or enjoyed by the wealthy nations, multinational companies and skilled workers. But at the same time, developing countries and low skilled workers often they left behind, they deprive from the such a type of economic benefits. It results in widening income and wealth inequality. Students, this is the next issue, challenge of globalization, that is social and political consequences. Yes, when some countries they make compulsion to adopt that such a type of new economic policy, liberalization, privatization, globalization, free flowing of resources, capital, labor from one country to another country, transfer of technology. So all these policies which are beneficial for the advanced countries, wealthy countries, progress countries, but at the same time, so backward countries, uh, developing countries, they deprive uh, to such a type of economic advantages of globalization. So therefore, it leads to rise inequality, and this inequality leads to social dissatisfaction. So sometimes some communities they use the strike, they use this weapon, that is strike. Economic, they feel the economic insecurity, and it leads, at the same time it leads growth of nationalist movements. So some Naxals, nationalists, they develop the nationalist movements and they participate in the that nationalist movements because this process of globalization does not consider their concern, as well as they follow the protectionist policies, and therefore they oppose this policy. For example, Japan reduced the imports in 2022 due to domestic pressure. So these are the social and political consequences. Next is economic interdependence and instability. Definitely, globalization links national economies closely. Local economic shocks can spread globally, and it leads supply chain disturbance. Like as suppose Indian country companies, corporations, they are exporting some metal or some production in China, and suppose this there is uncertainty in China, there is uncertainty in US. It definitely impacts Indian economy, Indian corporations, Indian economy, and it is nothing but it is because of the economic interdependence. So it leads supply chain disturbance, as well as it leads inflation and food insecurity. For example, Ukraine was the fifth largest wheat exporter in 2020. So that it means the countries like us, developing countries and backward countries, they become more economic interdependence, and they face the economic instability because of the globalization. The next challenge is hostile business environment. Yes, so this globalization, it leads competition, cutthroat competition in between the domestic small scale industries or domestic companies and the advanced that companies from the multinational companies, multinational corporations. And definitely multinational corporations, they have the advanced technology, they have the power, they have the what we can say, that is empire, they have the such a type of management, they have the advertisement strategies, and in front of these multinational companies, domestic companies, small scale industries, they feel lag behind in the competition, and therefore it is because of the increased global competition. Multinational corporations, they have the larger capital, they offer lower price, they can charge the competitive price, they can offer lower price, they can offer the various strategies, uh, and therefore the multinational corporations, they use local resources, and therefore local and small scale business struggle to survive. It leads to market domination by global firms, and that survival question becomes very serious by the small scale industries because of the uh, globalization, and this globalization leads competition between multinational corporations and domestic companies. Okay. Next challenge is race to the bottom. Yes, the it is called as race to the bottom. It means developing countries they compete with each other in the process of globalization, and they leads the lowering the standard of living because they follow the labor standards, they follow the environmental regulations, they follow the tax policies, international tax policies in the world of in the era of globalization. They follow the global policies, and therefore, for example, environmental policies, or for example, due to globalization, there is environmental what can say that is degradation, and because of the environmental degradation, because of the tax policy, because of the labor standards, so we are lowering our standard of living, and this is called as race to the bottom. Okay, evidence on the investment decisions is mixed. It means that decisions by the companies, decisions by the countries, developing countries, and backward countries, which are mixed. Strategic interaction observed among developed countries. So we are playing game, we are playing race at the bottom, and it leads lowering down the standard of living because we are following the policies of advanced countries in the form of globalization. Next issue is cultural homogenization. It means it means spread of Western culture or spread of that culture of some countries or one country, as well as culture of consumerization. It leads the spreading expansion of global brands. It replaces the local traditions, and this process is called as cultural homogenization. It leads loss of indigenous practices, loss of cultural identity, and it declines in global cultural diversity. So it means it does not give this much scope to develop the culture of that backward countries, developing countries, and this globalization policy just help to develop the culture of advanced countries. Next challenge is environmental challenges. Yes, definitely globalization increases industrial pollution, resource extractions, and it leads environmental cost, environmental degradation, like it includes pollution, deforestation, climate change, and major growth in countries with weaker environmental standards. It means that growth, economic growth by the countries in the process of globalization leads environmental cost, environmental degradation. This is another issue, that is social and security concerns. Yes, uh, uh, when the national borders which becomes invisible, and this you know that process to implement the process of globalization, so it gives the birth for the organized crime, systematic crime, corruption, terrorism, like as it leads to migration challenges like as limited assimilation, cultural and social conflicts. So such a type of social problems and social security concerns which are raised by the process of globalization, it threatens social cohesion in host countries. So this is another challenge. Yes, students, these are the challenges, and in the conclusion, we say that the globalization, this is not successful game. It is broken game, and all members of the globalization, all member countries of the globalization, they do not enjoy the equal benefits because globalization creates winners and losers. Who are winners and who are losers? Advanced countries as winners and backward and developing countries as losers. Benefits mainly enjoyed by the wealthy nations, powerful corporations, and at the same time poor and vulnerable populations suffer disproportionately. It therefore it for the fairer global governance and inclusive and sustainable globalization. Thank you. Students, if you have some doubts, then feel free to ask me. My I will share my email and contact number with the authorities. Thank you.